So after the WoW Dragonflight leak we got last week, I got a little bit excited because dragons are cool as shit. So off the back of that, I decided to have a browse on mmo-champion and have a look at some of the other leaks people have posted there. Now, back in February, somebody posted one called WoW Dragonflight. So they've got the name correct, assuming the Blizzard one is still legit. We don't know yet. So I figured I'd have a bit of fun and look into it and then see what sounds cool. And maybe the leak this person has created is 100% accurate. Maybe it's not. Maybe some of it is. But either way, going to be fun. And they got the name right, so we'll give it a go. So the main enemy is Chromatus, though lots of minor stories all about. Now, Chromatus was a 5-headed Hydra-type dragon that Netherian created, and it was essentially a fusion of all of the Dragonflights. 5 heads, all 5 different colours and whatnot. Then that didn't fly, so they couldn't kill it, so pretty much they've just kind of buried it and trapped it in like an arcane force field or some shenanigans in Northrend. So Chromatus isn't technically dead, so could be more plausible than the Galakron stuff we've seen in the past. So we've got 6 disconnected zones, 2 of them being revamps. Now revamp stuff gives you some Cataclysm vibes, which, yeah, gonna try and forget that. But 6 disconnected zones could be cool. New zones are nice. 4 micro classes, so 1 spec each instead of 1 full new class. That's pretty cool. Obviously, the last class has been Demon Hunter, which is obviously only 2 specs. And as far as I'm aware, we haven't had any specs since then, and the only changes have had probably Survival Hunter. So 4 new micro classes could be cool. I don't know how that's going to work. It's later on, but we'll get into that. Class skins. We already know Tia's back. I mean, we don't know if Tia's going to continue to be back. They'll probably get rid of it for reasons. But class skins for some pre-existing classes. Hopefully that, I mean, I'm hoping that's Tia and not just here's an outfit. I mean, if it is, fair enough. Screw it. Give us some cool looking stuff that actually looks a bit more lore inspired rather than generic, whatever that one-eyed shit we got in Shadowlands is. Player housing. I've never understood the attraction to player housing. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. If it's there, great. Lots of people want it. Fair enough. That'll keep a lot of people happy. I don't personally understand the appeal of it, because why would I want to hide in my player's house? Like, yeah, it just never appealed to me, but if they do it right, it'll get a lot of people happy, so that's pretty good. Hopefully, can't be any worse than Garrison's was. Carpenter and logger professions. I have no idea what to even think of that, but yeah, why not? I mean, other games, I think New Worlds, you chop down trees. I'm pretty sure you're doing Guild Wars 2 as well. So that could be good. I mean, I don't know what the Carpenter would be. I'm imagining that'll be linked to the player housing. So possibly sort of secondary professions like cooking and whatnot. Dalaran being the capital again. That would potentially link into the Chromatus stuff, because if we do go back to Northern Dalaran or wherever, that would make a bit of sense. It could be Legion Dalaran still, but you never know. And no level cap increase. Now that one's interesting because I've seen a few people talking about that before. I think Bellular had a really good video about that. It might not have been Bellular. I could have been talking out my arse there. But it was pretty good in that you just stay 60. And much like if you think of Shadowlands, you had the campaign. That campaign effectively took you to max level, but the levels were completely pointless in that scenario. Like, you got nothing because you needed eye level before you could do the new dungeons that you got as you progressed through. So the level was irrelevant. It just gated the content, but that content could just be gated behind that objective. The issue with level cap, or getting rid of it, is the boosts. They'd have to make sure that they can still sell boosts. Now that boost may just take you up to 60 and you have to then do that campaign. That would work. Blizzard are not going to lose any opportunity to get that boost in there. So that would be fine. I mean, to me, it makes a bit of sense because leveling is completely pointless nowadays. It's a means to an end, but you don't feel any better as you level up. You get nothing out of it. You can queue, when you're doing Chromie time, you can queue for any dungeon at any level anyway. And then even in the new expansion, you get nothing. So that'd be pretty cool if they just sack off leveling, you do the story, done. They'd have to make sure it doesn't suck when you're doing replays on alts, but that could work. I'm all for that. Rewards from Shadowlands just get scaled down. Everything in 10.0 is max level content, level 60 with no level squish. There's no need to level if you already have a max level characters. Progression is just endgame progression. Yeah, I mean, that's basically how the level cap, getting rid of that, would work. You just have content that you play through. That content unlocks specific things. Levels are just a fixed value. They are just there. To me, that makes a lot of sense. Just sack off leveling completely. I mean, we can keep it obviously up to 60, but then the benefit is we don't have to keep doing with in 3 expansions time. Blizzard go, oh, we're squishing you down again. They've said they don't want to keep doing that. Just level 60 being the fixed value would be fine. Now on to the zones. So we mentioned 6 disconnected zones before. Dragon Isles. Dragon Isles has been mentioned forever. Like, since the dawn of Warcraft, Dragon Isles has been mentioned. So it does make sense that it's going to be in the Dragon-based league, but technically it's its own continent, though it's one split into multiple maps, floating islands between the Broken Isles and the northern end. Makes sense if you look at how the map is, so that could work. And Dragon Isles is cool as fuck. If we're doing a dragon-based expansion, kind of need to do something with the Dragon Isles. You kind of just sack it off. These next two are my favourite parts of this whole thing, probably, is Lordaeron, revamped Tirisfal, and Plaguelands Scarlet Light Focus. Now, we have done nothing with Lordaeron since that whole Jaina's big ship and all the big fighting and all that stuff. Nothing's happened since that, or at least nothing that I'm aware of. We've done stuff in Shadowlands that's a bit Lich King-y, and we've done things there. Lordaeron's kind of been forgotten. Like, Undercity isn't really a thing either. Like, I don't personally ever go to Undercity. Just go to Org for everything. So that would be really good if that got a revisit. Revamping it sounds really nice. Some stuff has been data mined about quests which do involve Tirisfal Glades. So there is some link there. And a Scarlet and Light Focus would, to me, be absolutely fantastic because Scarlet Crusade stuff is great. I've been playing Classic lately, and I've been having an absolute blast going through Scarlet Monastery again. So something like that would be fantastic. And then Kel'Thalas, so a revamped Eversong in Ghostlands. Now, I like the idea that they'll be revamping a couple of zones, not full Cataclysm level, just a few zones. That sounds really good. And the last bit in this, Silvermoon is a hostile city like Suramar. Please do that. Silvermoon sucks. Like, when the fuck was the last time you went to Silvermoon? Was that like, the last time I went to Silvermoon would have been about 8 years ago to get jewel crafting. It'd have been more than 8 years ago because at the time you could only get it from Silvermoon, I think. Either way, not been back. There's no purpose to go to Silvermoon. So that would be really cool. I don't know how it would work as a hostile city. There'd have to be some story that goes on there, but that could be really, really fun. Everyone liked Suramar. Well, not everyone. A lot of people like Suramar, so I think that would be really fun, to be honest. Something like that would be really nice. We've also got Undermine, which is a city zone beneath Kazan, criminals and uncrowned story, fully underground. Now, I've done the Goblin starter zone, and it's really fun. Like, it's just a cool starter zone. But Undermine is like the capital for the goblins, whereas Kazan's not. So Undermine's the full capital. Now, I don't know how it would fit in with dragon shenanigans, but we haven't really done much with goblins since they got introduced. So that could be pretty fun as well. Like, I'd be fine seeing that. As I say, I really enjoyed the Goblin starter zone. Thought it was something a bit different, and it's got a really cool vibe to it. So going to the capital city for that would also, I'd assume, be pretty fun as well. So yeah, that sounds like something that'll be up my street. So next we'll have Balor, which is a halfling race dealing with primordial fell enemies. So think proto-demons, like what Shadowlands creatures are to undead. Now, primordial fell sounds pretty cool. You know, that's all fine. But what's interesting is I did a bit of Googling, and Balor isn't a race, or not a race that's been mentioned anyway. Balor is a location. It's an island that's west of Stormwind, which had some stuff with Stormweaver clan and some other stuff in the First and Second Wars. But it's never been in World of Warcraft before. It's only been mentioned in Warcraft, and I'm assuming in the novels as well. So I'm not sure how it would fit in as a race, or if it's just a coincidence that it's got the same name. Balor's some Norse king or something like that as well. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Uldar's second fully underground zone ever on Azeroth, Titan Elune story. I mean, if there's a story, and it's good, so ideally a story that has no involvement of Steve Denuza, then yeah, I'm fine. Steve Denuza's doing it, don't care. Just get rid of the storyline entirely. So also with this Uldar's stuff, aside from the, Denuza story, is Uldar's has been mentioned before in BF8, like not extensively mentioned, like I'm pretty sure it's a one-liner thing, but it has been mentioned to exist. So they would be playing in through that. Classes. We haven't had a new class since Demon Hunter, and we haven't had a new range class since forever. So hopefully we'll get some of that fun. So first one is Dragonite. Nothing related to the Dota guy, perhaps, but only one tank spec, uses 200 weapons, fire, plate, armor, and shouts. So basically the guy from Dota. It's fine. Single purpose spec, that'll be cool. Tinker, you ain't gonna have a leak or a fanfiction leak without Tinker. It is inevitable that Tinker was gonna be involved. It's just a standard thing, but only one damage dealer spec, uses guns, mail armor, gadgets, and mech suits. Yep, standard Tinker stuff. Minstrel class, only one healer spec, uses leather, lutes, violins, and pan flutes. I would play the ever-loving shit out of that. That would be tremendous. Dark Ranger skin for hunters, dark spell effects, tames undeads instead of animals. That would be fantastic. So if you think Warlocks got the Green Fire quest ages ago, and that was nice, like, that was literally a really great quest. The challenge was fun. I spent God knows how long trying to do that. I was not very good at it. But getting the Green Fire was awesome. Doing that for hunters would be great. You're not changing the class, you're just giving it a different sort of skin, as they say, and then you get loads of zombie pets. That's cool. Necromancer skin for Warlock. Plagues instead of curses, summons undead instead of demons. Every game is better with the Necromancer. Your game immediately becomes better with Necromancers. You lose them, they're not as good anymore. Bring more death stuff. Nightmare skin for druids, corrupted spell effects and animal forms, can unlock widely different forms that play the same as normal druids, like snakes and spiders. That one's a bit of a stretch because druids are all happy and woo, yay, plants and nature. So that one might be a bit of a stretch, but I'll be down. Dragonsworn skin for shamans, draconic spell effects and forms, why not? Warden skin for demon hunters, uses arcane and holy magic instead of fell. Yeah, I mean, again, probably a bit of a stretch from a lore perspective, but we can get down with it. Now this is one of my favourite bits, the final bit. Continued Order Hall stories. There are only a select few and you pick them from Covenants. There's no gameplay differences between them, just different campaigns, mounts, mogs, and companions. Silverhand, Uncrowned, Kirintor, Valaria, and the Black Harvest, you are not considered leader of the Order. I'm fine with that. Like, they've just brought back the Mage Tower, which was obviously really well liked in Legion. Order Halls were ridiculously well liked in Legion. Everyone was sad they were gone, so it would be great if they came back in some capacity. I'd rather have them than Player Housing. Just send us back to our Order Halls. It made a lot of sense. It was great. They looked cool. And it was just a nice place to chill out and do mage shit. I'd just be floating around on my little mage thing. That was great. Expansion announcement February 2018th. We already know that's not happening. That's, well, next week, I think. And goal is to release in Q1 2023. I would assume it'll be next year, with Wrath of Lich King coming later this year. A lot of this is probably a massive stretch, but I would absolutely be down for Chromatis and loads of this stuff anyway, so that would be cool. And as I say in the top comment here, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have it be this absolutely insane one. I am completely and utterly down. Give me the batshit crazy dragon stuff. So yeah, that's the WoW Dragonflight leak. Now again, this could be all complete bullshit, but we will find out because the WoW expansion is announced very soon. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.